Hello, welcome back to the course. Even in this modern age, people constantly experience some unexpected behaviour which has an adverse effect on the work culture and ultimately makes the work environment toxic. In this video, you'll learn how to identify some of these inappropriate actions such as prejudice, stereotypes, explicit and implicit bias, and microaggression. Before getting started, let's take a quick look at what these terms refer to. Prejudice. A preconceived attitude towards a group or the members. Stereotypes. Generalised belief about specific characteristics of a group. Bias. Discriminatory behaviour towards and treatment of a group or its members. Each of these dimensions has had different conceptualisations over time. Discrimination has also evolved from a narrow focus on unfair treatment to how institutional policies and cultural processes maintain imbalance across groups. So what prejudice actually means? Prejudice refers to a hostility based on incorrect and rigid generalisation. Prejudice is often thought of as an attitude with a cognitive component, an emotional component, and a cognitive component, similar to other attitudes. It can be felt or conveyed in several ways. It could be aimed at a whole group or at an individual who is a member of that group. Prejudice has been defined as a negative attitude by the majority of academics. Now, what exactly do stereotypes mean? The term stereotype refers to the image that comes to mind when one thinks of a specific social group. While early studies viewed stereotyping as a rigid and flawed mental process, a more recent study has focused on the functional and dynamic features of stereotypes as a means of simplifying a complex environment. Stereotypes are mental models that people employ to process information about others. Stereotypes contain information about other qualities such as social roles, the degree to which group members share specific attributes, i.e. within group homogeneity, or variability, and beliefs about the traits that characterise typical group members. Stereotypes suggest a significant amount of knowledge about people beyond their immediately apparent surface traits. In general, preconceptions cause people to be more open to seeing behaviours or qualities that fit the stereotype. Stereotypes' consistent traits are attended to most quickly at the first stages of perceptual processing. And next comes bias. Bias is an inclination in favour of or against one item, person or organisation as compared to another, usually in an unfavourable way. Individuals, groups and institutions can all have biases which can have negative or positive outcomes. Biases come in several forms, such as conscious bias, also known as explicit bias, and unconscious bias, also known as implicit bias. It's crucial to remember that unconscious and conscious biases aren't confined to ethnicity and race. Even though racial bias and discrimination are well documented, biases against any social group can occur. Bias exists based on one's age, gender, gender identity, physical abilities, religion, sexual orientation, weight, and a variety of other traits. Now, let's take a quick look at explicit and implicit bias. When one's decisions are unconsciously influenced by pre-existing beliefs about a specific group of people, this is referred to as implicit bias. Explicit bias, on the other hand, occurs when a person is aware of their pre-existing beliefs about a particular group of people and makes intentional decisions based on these beliefs. An explicitly biased person directs their actions, whereas an implicitly biased person requires guidance to remove bias from their thinking. To put it another way, racism is an explicit bias, whereas implicit bias is a prejudice that a person is unaware of. And finally, microaggression. A microaggression is a derogatory remark or action directed at a marginalised group of people. Microaggressions can be deliberate or unintentional. It's a sort of racial prejudice. People who utilise microaggressions may have no intention of harming the person or group against whom they are directed. They might not even realise they're saying or doing something microaggressive. Microaggressions can be quite painful for those who are subjected to them. And that's all for this lesson. In the next video, we will discuss how an organisation can implement equality, diversity and inclusion in its policy. Happy learning and see you soon.